Hello and welcome to Grace and Gratitude. This is Jeannie, and tonight's our first night, so I wanted to just give a warm welcome to everyone and let you know a little bit about what we'll be doing. This is intended to be a quick, down and dirty, focusing session, getting ourselves back into a state of gratitude, which is where we manifest from. And so for our first meeting, I'm going to go over some sort of intentions for what the experience will be. On our further meetings in the future, we'll be doing a little bit more interactive. I'll expect everybody to contribute, to share. I'm going to ask people to share a story. I'm going to ask people to acknowledge each other. And absolutely, each person's going to have an opportunity to share what it is they would like to intend for themselves and how they would like their lives to look. And as a group, we're going to send all the energy and focus and intention we've got through our meditation to that person's specific goal. So it should be a lot of fun. First thing I want to tell you about grace and gratitude is that your body loves gratitude. It's the quickest way to get into a heart-mind cohesion, or what the Heart Math Center calls, I guess that's what they call it, heart-mind cohesion. A deep heart-connected appreciation that carries love and acceptance from a place of higher consciousness and well-being. This is what gratitude is. Your body loves it because it washes away the biochemistry of stress, insufficiency, and replaces it with the alchemy of flow and emotional warmth. That emotional warmth becomes magnetic to itself, love. The resonance from gratefulness warms both the giver and the receiver. It generates a field of appreciation, and sometimes we can refer to that as limbic resonance, or as I said, heart-mind cohesion, or coherence, excuse me. And in the field of appreciation, we create a healing and reviving antidote to psychotoxins such as, I don't have time, I don't have enough, I'm drained, I'm too busy, etc. So every time we can create even a trickle of gratitude, it blesses us with its affirmation that we have all that we need in consciousness itself to gather our strength and honor life. Each stream of gratitude clears out the corrosive toxins of stress and anxiety in your body, and it becomes a gift to not only yourself but to others. The purpose of this circle is to focus our attention on the feeling of gratitude and then publicly declare what it is that creates that feeling of gratitude for you. So from that elevated emotion, we will then share what it is that we intend to manifest. And the collective energy and visualization as a group propels our intentions into action with much more velocity than one person's individual prayer could for their own intention. Let's see what to expect. Next, I wanted to share that when this group is done live, I always look to incorporate a potluck, so we don't actually get that luxury when we're online. But we are here to connect and share. So I would ask that before beginning in this session each week, that you feed your body with healthy food. Bless the food. Focus your energy on the nourishment that it's providing you, your gratitude that you have this beautiful food, and the love of yourself, the way that you care for yourself. We're then going to start right away as we begin the meeting with the meditation. And we're going to allow for some time to list our gratitudes for the week. So at this moment, I'm going to give you an opportunity to start and just think about what kinds of things right now you can find gratitude for. So I'm going to share with you some of my past gratitudes, and maybe that can help stimulate some excitement for you. In fact, I'm just going to tell you what I'm grateful for today. I am mostly grateful for the amazing place that I live. Not only do I live in the world's most wonderful spiritual Mecca, Sedona, but I also live amidst a grove of gigantic, towering trees. And these trees are green, they're leafy, they're lush, they provide shade fresh oxygen, and literally they just shimmer with the molecules of the elements. And so every day, the minute I wake up, I walk outside and I'm immediately immersed with gratitude. I feel so much gratitude for the water that flows through my property and the peaceful sound of the trickle that it makes. The gratitude for my dog and how happy he is, and the ways that he makes me laugh, the ways that he snuggles up to me and trusts me. So, I just start with the really most simple, basic things and go from there. So think about it for yourself for just a moment and notice how these moments that we tune into, the things that do make us feel gratitude, start to elevate our feelings. In future classes, I will invite each person to share a story of something that made them feel gratitude this particular day or this particular week. And you're going to start to see that as each person shares, the whole energy of the group, of that person, you'll see it in their face, you'll see it in their body language, the tone of their voice, the strength and the passion and conviction in their voice is going to change. So we're going to start to hear that from each other. When all members have completed their gratitudes, we're then going to move into person by person sharing of what it is that you would like to have happening in your life. So let's see. Okay, so that's how this is going to work, is that from sharing your gratitudes, so for instance, I just said, I'm so grateful for my beautiful home, the trees, the water, and my dog that makes me happy. And from this platitude, this new platitude or new plateau of happiness and gratitude, I will also share with you that I would really like to share my intention to have an even larger group of people that come together to share with me in these meetings, these gatherings, where each person is growing and flowering, and I can see that reflection back to me. Oftentimes in my own life, I manifest like crazy. I manifest the most inane things, and sometimes really big things, like trips and travel, and sometimes it's cash, and sometimes it's food, and sometimes it's just the blessings of good company. I'm blessed this week. I have many people visiting me. It's the best time of year to visit Sedona, so I've had a lot of visitors. Very grateful for that. Each new day, the person that comes through the door shares with me something really special and unique, and so all of that makes me happy. I want more of it. Thank you. Your job at this point would be to say, so be it, and so it is. Say it with conviction, say it with power, say it with force, and together as we do this, it may feel silly at first because, yeah, you're at home in front of your computer, but what you're going to start to notice is you'll hear the power in the collective voice as we do this. So as we complete our intention, the group in unison will declare, for the highest good of all, so be it and so it is. And this one piece of the phrase, for the highest good of all, is basically just to qualify that we only intend things that really do serve the highest good of all. And so we're declaring that we intend that if this is for the highest good of all, then so be it, and so it is. We imagine it happening. We see it happening. Even if we don't know what the other person looks like, we can start to see the activities or the ideas or the things that that person is actually hoping to have. So we're going to visualize that with the person who's intending. Now, when each person has completed, we're going to refocus. We'll have a guided meditation in which all thought forms and intention that are for the highest good of all, will collect them together, connect together, and create a giant bubble of good intention. And that bubble is going to enlarge and go out until it circles the globe, collecting any and all thoughts around the globe that match in vibration and propel these intentions to manifestation at lightning speed. And this is really powerful because we're now tuning into not only the energy of this group, but we're tuning into the collective of the entire planet, all 6.5 billion, 7 billion people that live on this planet. There's many, many people that have the same dreams that you have. And so when we connect into those collective dreams, collective visions, we're going to really empower our intentions. And this feeling is going to be growing for each of us. Then we're going to start to read from inspirational books, material. Everybody can actually bring their own inspired thoughts to the group. We can take quotes. It's totally collaborative, so we're going to share. I really like to read from a specific book called The Intender's Handbook. This has a code, which is 10 intentions for higher living. And I'll actually bring that to our next gathering. At this moment, I do have a quote that I'd like to share that I think is important. It comes from the book by Wallace Wattles. He teaches the science of getting rich. And he says that it's an absolute science because when we do things in a certain way, that it is a law of the universe that these things come to manifest. So what Wallace Wattles said was, success comes in abundance only when you commit to a continuous process of your own making by doing things in a certain way. And there's quite a bit more that goes with that, but a certain way. And that certain way is to A, act with conviction, and B, act in ways that give more in use value than you ask for return. So that is the certain way, and when we do that, we can be assured of our own success. In this community experience, there is no guru. All are welcome to bring material for the inspirational reading segment and to share in whatever way they like. And then I also really love to hear your reflections about each other. And so we're going to have time to acknowledge each other for what we've brought to the group, for whatever, anything. As long as it's positive, it's a positive sharing, then I support each person in really learning to start to compliment and appreciate one another. Because appreciation is one thing that is almost equal to gratitude in its vibrational force and frequency. And we have not been trained in our culture to really appreciate each other enough. And we keep things often to ourselves out of shyness or out of feelings that we don't want to feel foolish. But the truth is, there isn't one person on the planet that doesn't love hearing something positive about themselves. And we don't typically see ourselves clearly. So it's so important that we get feedback from one another about our good works, our good deeds, our inspirations, our intelligence, our gentle voice, whatever it is that you can find positive to say about the the other people in this group. Okay? So that's that. I want to share some guidelines that I have come up with that are guidelines for intention setting. Some ideas to really keep in mind about this whole idea of magnetizing, manifesting, and so here they are. First of all, there's absolutely nothing wrong with desire. It is in our desire through which we evolve. If we stop desiring, we would stop evolving. And if we stopped evolving, there would be no reason to exist. It's important to remember that everything we focus on, we get. What we say we want, we're actually inviting into our reality. What we say we don't want, we invite into our reality as well. The universe does not recognize the distinction of like or dislike. The only way that it responds is to our vibration. So whatever we're giving our attention to, with vibration, with strong feelings, is what we are vibrating. That being said, It is of vast importance to language your intentions in a way in which the universe will best respond. When setting intentions, the language we use is very important. The words that we use are critical. When we think about words like trying, hoping, wanting, phrases like to be and not do not support, but actually work in contrast to what it is that we are intending for ourselves. So when we ask for anything, it is given through our vibration. For it to appear into our experience, we must stay in a place of alignment and in trust. The more we can trust that something has already happened and our manifestation is on the way to us, the quicker we'll experience it in our actual life. So the words that we use like hoping, wanting, trying, they have a tendency to put our dreams into a future experience, when what we want, what most of us really want, is for our desires to happen right now. So when we're setting our intentions, let's experiment with replacing the words I hope to, I want to words like I intend, I choose, I claim, and start to notice the powerful difference in the vibration of those words. For instance, I intend that I have a new car. Anytime you want to use the word to be, like I'd like to be, think about using the word instead, I am. For example, I intend that I am happy. I intend that I am in a fulfilling, loving relationship. Okay, now let's think about the word not. The universe doesn't know the difference between, it doesn't hear negatives, in other words. It doesn't not or don't want, things like that has no bearing on the subconscious or the universe, because it's in a it's a reflective, but it's not an affirmative, in other words. Okay, so when we use the word not, we're focusing on what is not wanted, and therefore we're creating more of that. So intention about what it is you're moving toward rather than away from is what we're going after. So in other words, I intend that I'm not sick anymore. 2, I intend that I'm radiantly healthy. So simple changes to just adjust the language that we're using, and recognizing that everything before now is in the past. So everything from this moment forward is now. So for our intentions to manifest, they must serve the highest and best good for ourselves and for others. If your intentions aren't manifesting the way that you want them to, you might consider that the choice you are making would maybe not be in the highest good of all. Sometimes the universe knows what will serve us better than what our personalities think would serve us better. So we have to be willing to let go of old attachments and our ideas about how things should manifest, and be willing to manifest and experience something totally new and outside our realm of experience, or our realm of possibility. And amazing things can happen when we do this. So if we leave all references to the past in the past, and all references to how we think things should manifest, then we can be open to allow the universe to surprise us. And let me promise you this: the universe always has a better plan for us than we have for ourselves. I absolutely know this. I just spent 10 days or 14 days in Bali in fine luxury hotels, Um, and it was a paid, all expense paid trip that I have seen in my visions many times, but I thought the how was going to be that I had to either marry someone who could provide that for me or somehow become financially independent and financially wealthy. Well, neither of those two things happened, and yet here I was in my beautiful hotel room with flower petals on my bed and beautiful flower petals in the bathtub with beautiful jasmine scented water. Just amazing, amazing experience with jungle sounds in the background. Um, and it was a full-on gift from the universe, and I couldn't have been happier. So I now completely let go of how anything happens and only know that I don't know how, I only know that I do now intend to have more of those luxury vacations because it really did suit me. Okay, now, in terms of health and wellness, it's so easy to explain why we want health. So many times we've got conditions that have been annoying or aggravating us and compelling us to choose or want health. But in this particular environment, it's really important that we leave all references to illness or disease outside of the circle. When we give a name to someone's sickness, we give it power. So in this environment, our intentions will always be afraid in accordance of how we would like to see that person or that thing. The thing that will help any situation the most is to see anything in its highest light, or anyone. So for instance, my daughter is experiencing a condition where her heart has been monitored by her doctor, and they've done some procedures to help facilitate her health. And rather than me saying, I intend that my daughter's heart condition is healed, then I'm giving energy to the heart condition. So the reality is, what I would like to see is my daughter feeling happy, radiant, healthy, vital, joyful, loving, expansive. And all of these things have a much higher frequency, a much higher vibration that is now crossed over space and time and immediately connected into her. And if you don't believe in that instantaneous type of experience, let me tell you that many times when I tune into my daughter and I ask beloved Mary to go to my daughter and provide her with loving, nurturing energy, and immediately, usually there's a text on my phone from my daughter, and she doesn't realize that she's responding to that love that's being sent to her, but that is what's happening, and I know it happens all the time. There's no way for me to make an excuse, because otherwise my daughter could go 6 months without calling me, just because she's busy. She's got 3 children and a job and many friends that she cares for, and so this is something that's really been proven to me over and over again. So again, with our physical health, whether it's ours, somebody we know and love, or one of our animals, always, always, always we want to use the words of how we'd like to see them, and see them, literally imagine them in those states, because that's where the healing happens. That's where the magic happens. Because you're literally sending them the energy and the frequency of those things, then they have the opportunity to connect into those things and allow that frequency to pull them into it. Okay? All right. So, in 5 easy steps, we're going to be magnetizing like crazy this next few months. We're going to be following a process. So I'm going to ask you to pay attention to these 5 steps as we go through them. The first step is to test this intention process and be open to it. The second step is get your first win. When you have the experience of having a manifestation come to fruition, and you acknowledge that it has happened by expressing your gratitude for it, this is going to empower you even more. It's like a reflexive muscle. The more that we do this, the more that we acknowledge and thank the universe for these manifestations, the more that we're going to actually be able to do it on command, more regularly, more frequently. Okay, number 3, we're going to develop your trust by practicing this and getting even more wins. I mean, I'd like to see what happens as we start going overtime because everybody has so much to share about what their amazing manifestations were. And this has happened in the past. Believe me, our meetings have gone from, they started out, I think our first meeting was 45 minutes. In the end, they would spill over to an hour, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes now. I know that everybody's busy, so it's not my intention to keep you long. But I do want to say that it's going to be really fun when I have to say, okay, time's up. We got to keep moving because we're running out of time. All right. When you notice, number 4, when you notice and trust, your trust turns into knowing. And number 5, have fun. Stay filled with your gratitude and always remember to intend for the highest good of all. All right, so who's in? I'd like to acknowledge everyone tonight for being here. Even if you've come late, if you've had to miss this and watched on replay, maybe you're watching this as a replay 5 months later. It doesn't matter. I'm just glad you're here because I have been so blessed in my own life that my cup is full, and I am so excited to share this process and really remind people of what an amazing being you are, that you are one of the only species, maybe the only species as a human being on this planet that has the capacity to literally transform your life, transform the events of your life, transform your feelings about your life through conscious use of your own will. So you made a choice, and you chose to spend your time here tonight, today, this morning, whatever time of day is when you're watching this. Thank you for sharing your time. Thank you for sharing your energy. It doesn't matter when it is, the energy is still continuing to grow this group, to build on this group. I'd like to close out with a very brief meditation that we can remember how this all works. So, taking a moment to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, noticing how your lungs fill up your lung capacity and also your heart capacity, and then let it go. Noticing that there's always an abundance of air to fill your lungs. And in that itself, there's something to be grateful for. We live in an abundant universe. Everything that we need is provided for our health and our wellness, for our abundant and joyful living. And tuning into that abundance, bringing our center of awareness to all that we've been gifted, all that we have already that supports us, our physical comforts, the food that we eat, the people in our lives that bless, support, share, and love us. Think about something right now that you know that you would like to manifest. Intend right here, right now, in this moment, that while it may be impossible for you to comprehend or imagine how you might bring this manifestation into your life, acknowledge that many miracles have already happened for you. And that in this moment, by your sheer intention, there's a signal going out into the universe, stimulating and activating the molecules and all of the elementals, all of these particles and atoms that are just waiting to be called into activity. Just like in the science experiments, the atoms that were observed by the scientist behave differently than the atoms that were not observed. And this is because what we give attention to, energy flows to. And as this energy flows, it attracts to other like energies. In other words, other particles other elementals, fire, earth, air, water, are all being stimulated into attraction. And as they attract, they become excited. They build with a frequency, a fervor. Send those intentions out, that dream, that vision of what it is you'd like to most have, and allow for those particles to supercharge it. Imagine that it's getting whisked up with other particles and other molecules and being spun out into space, where it can connect and collect with all of the other thought forms, with the other intentions of other people who have the same idea. Feel the appreciation, the joy, the amazement, the excitement of how you're going to feel when you actually have that manifestation, that intention activated in your life. Notice, how is your body feeling? Where are you feeling this excitement? Are you feeling it as a tingling, as a buzzing? Maybe you're not feeling it at all yet. That's okay. Because we don't need to know how. We just need to create a space of openness. Expanding that vision, allowing ourselves to be surrounded with all of these molecules and particles going out into this huge bubble that expands beyond our body, beyond the bedroom or the living room or the kitchen or the car, wherever you're at. Outside your city, beyond the boundaries of your state, out to the borders of your country, across the oceans, around the globe, feeling the lightness, the energizing, as this expands and expands, all the way out till the entire globe is encircled with your vibrational intention. And now, intend with me that for the highest good of all, so be it, and so it is. Take a deep breath in, and let it go. Bringing your focus back into the body, right here where you are, wiggling your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, thank you again so much for joining me. I honor you, your magical creative spirit, and your intention to grow in this world. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.